What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is a call-in show, in case you were wondering. In case you're new here, if you are new here, you're about to learn. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I do these live streams and even some uploaded videos here and there. Year round. There is no off season for Pigskin Pete. The number to call in if you want to call in and be part of the show is 864-207-4522. Let me repeat that for the people in the back who didn't hear. The number to call in is 864-207-4522. The Big Ten returns. The big return of the Big Ten. I'll go ahead and give you a preview of what I'll be doing this weekend. I mean, every weekend I watch college football all day long. Just ask my friends and family. They'll tell you I'm obsessed. But I do a live reaction show, stream, whatever you want to call it, during a primetime college football game every weekend. Haven't done one the past couple of weekends. 2 weekends ago was my birthday, so I was out doing my birthday thing. Last weekend I had a visitor in the house, so I didn't do one then. This weekend I will definitely be doing the Minnesota and Michigan game. I believe that's at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, so come join me for with that. A couple of announcements real quick. I can find them. Oh, yeah. HowsRock.net. Go sign up for it if you haven't already. I don't know why you haven't if you haven't. You know, I'm doing this giveaway for people who are registering. Just go over there and register. It's free. So I was going to give away 5 junior footballs to your favorite team. I think there's like 20 teams on the website. You don't have to be a Clemson fan to do it. And I said, register and send me an email with proof of registration, like a screenshot that you've registered. So I had a bunch of people register, so thank you for that. But I've only had a few people send me proof. So those people that sent me proof, I'll be sending you a football. We'll email you back with a coupon code that will zero out your total once you go order the football here in the next few days. So thank all of you. If anybody else wants to get in on that, there's still 2 spots left open. Want a free football? Register. Or maybe you don't even care about a football. Maybe you just want to support your boy. Go register. It's free. So do that. Or don't. Whatever. Lots to talk about tonight. Tua Tagovailoa named the starter and has sparked trouble in paradise. Yeah, that's right. Trouble in paradise. By paradise, I mean Miami. Ryan Fitzpatrick is not too happy about this, and he's made it known. You know, a couple of days ago, I said on a stream, I said that the Dolphins have named Tua the starter. Well, the Dolphins didn't actually name Tua the starter. Ryan Fitzpatrick heard about this on Twitter. It was a leak. The Dolphins never made an official announcement that Tua was starting. And now Ryan Fitzpatrick is on a rampage, trashing the Dolphins organization. I think he's probably going to ask for a trade. I mean, he said in no uncertain terms that he's extremely disappointed with the way this was handled and that he's benched. I mean, you got to think about it, man. The Dolphins are in the mix of things in the AFC right now. What are they, like 4-2? Playing good football. Ryan Fitzpatrick's playing good. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. He's not happy about it. I know that much. Trevor Lawrence. All of the talk. If you got a bunch of famous former players, former coaches in the NFL coming out telling Trevor Lawrence, if you know what's good for you, you'll stay at Clemson one more year if the Jets get the first pick, which it's looking, let's be honest here, it's looking like the Jets are going to get the first pick. They are so bad. They're really bad. Adam Gase is the biggest joke of a coach in the history of the NFL. Why they hired that guy in the first place, I'll have no idea. But so I took to Twitter today and just made a quick post, said, hey, Trevor Lawrence is not going to run from the Jets. He's not going to stay at Clemson another year just because the Jets get the first pick. He'll go where he's drafted. I truly believe that. And of course, I got a bunch of responses. Oh, what do you know, Trevor Lawrence? Did he tell you that himself? No, stop. I'll be willing. I don't do this much. Well, hold on. Let me put the camera on here before I do cheers to the chat. Let me put the camera on real quick. I want to make myself very clear here. I don't do this very often on the channel. If ever. I don't think I've ever done it. This is a first. Anybody out there who wants to bet me $100 right now, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this later and you put it in the comments section, do you want to bet me $100 right now that if the Jets draft Trevor Lawrence that he doesn't go there? I'm saying he will. We hear this every single year. When Baker Mayfield was going to get drafted by the Browns, oh, he needs to demand a trade, or he needs to refuse to go there. Where did he go? Went to the Browns. Last year, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. You know, the Bengals are the worst franchise in football. They're a dumpster fire. Joe Burrow is not going to the Bengals. Where did Joe Burrow go? The Bengals. What would coming back to Clemson? Never mind the fact that Trevor Lawrence has already said that he's not coming back next year. He's already said it. So you call him a liar? I'll make a $100 bet with anybody right now. Anybody. Not multiple people, because I'm not made of money. Any one person that wants to make the bet that if he's drafted by the Jets, he goes to the Jets. Anybody want to take that bet with Big Skin Pete? What was it? Who was the one that refused to go to was it Eli Manning that refused to go to the Chargers? So the Chargers made the trade with Phillip Rivers, right? Is that right? The reason that happened was because there was a personal issue. This was not a football-related issue. There was a personal issue, I believe, between Eli Manning's dad, Archie, and somebody I don't know, it was the owner or the GM or somebody in the Chargers organization. That's the reason that happened. Had nothing to do with football. And I got news for you. I mean, I don't know that I even have to say this because people don't understand the way that the draft works. Trevor Lawrence stays another year at Clemson because he doesn't want to go to the Jets, a bad team. Who's to say that the Jets won't have the first pick the next year? And also, even if the Jets don't have the first pick next year, it's going to be a bad team. Knock, knock, folks. The worst team in the NFL every year gets the first pick in the draft. Not to mention, if the Jets get the first pick and they fire Adam Gase eventually, which they will because he's terrible, how many coaches, decent coaches, the coaches that would come up for the job for the Jets would not love to get their hands on starting a team with Trevor Lawrence? Anybody want that bet? Let's get to the chat here real quick, and then we'll get to the phone lines. I'd like to hear from some Big Ten fans tonight, some Ohio State fans, some Michigan fans. Maybe some Penn State fans. And why is everybody saying Penn State's going, 500? I don't know. Don't know. I would like to know, though. So maybe you can call and tell me why. Clemson Carson's in the house. What's up, buddy? Rack Dog, Bo Weevil, Matt Dummett, Bama Buddy. Clemson Jacobs in the house. What's up, buddy? Sheriff, you're here. You're amazing and fantastic. I haven't already know that you are. Tennessee Volunteer 98. What's up, Pete? What's up with you? Brad Pitt. Crimson Brave. What'd you do? Drop the 2020? Used to be Crimson Brave 2020. Now you're just Crimson Brave. What's the story behind that? Country Tiger, rowdy rocker, as opposed to subdued rocker. He's a rowdy rocker. Gutter Gator, what's up, buddy? Wilkie. He wants to know if I'm drinking ice water. Nope. It is a clear liquid, but it's not water. What's up, Ed? Ballard Sports Media. Nate the Great, don't be late, a.k.a. Nate Kingston. Snake Spence is in the house. He says, go Bucks. Johnny Red Dot, thank you for the super chat, sir. Says, support always. Thank you for the content. Well, thank you for being here. I mean, the thank is all to you, sir. Wilkie, Pete, do some RGB lights. Well, you know what? I do have some lights behind me, but I got some new lights in today as far as to improve the lighting in here. So I don't even know if you'll see the colored lights I have if I even turn them on. So I'm not going to. What's up, Cheryl? Oh, Cheryl took a time out from Mark Rogers' channel to come over here and say what's up to Pigskin Pete. I appreciate that. What's up, T. Davis? Friday night beyond the lights. Cedric Ward. Man, thank you guys so much. Shoot 'em 556. Yeah, he says, of course he will. Money talks. You know, the weird thing is I don't understand what makes people think that Trevor Lawrence wouldn't accept the number 1 overall pick to any team. I just don't get it. I don't get it. McD Sports 4. What's up, buddy? How about some Maryland fans? Yeah, well, I'll take anybody. I'm not a hater. Kyle Papik, CS, Aaron Short, Nacho helmet. What is that? What's a Nacho helmet? Slim Shady Canes, what's up, buddy? All right, let's get to the show here. Why don't we? Why not? Why not? All right, let's see if everybody's on the phone line here. Phone lines are full. That's what I like to see. Good afternoon, you're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete. What's up? It's your boy, Coulter. And I'm just going to go ahead and answer that question for you about why you said that why Twitter was trolling you. I'll just give you a simple answer. Mm-hmm. Twitter trolls. Because I remember after the 2018 Orange Bowl win,
they weren't trolling
Oklahoma.
Me. That's the problem. If they were trolling me, it'd be different. They weren't trolling me. They're stupid. I mean,
no, there's people on Twitter who know about as blah. How do I word this? They know about as much as what they're talking about as Ryan Hollins does on any ESPN show. Which, if any of you watch Ryan Hollins, you know how bad he is. But anyways, back to what I said. I sent you that list of what I wanted to talk about. You already touched on the first point, which was Fitztragic is benched. It's Tua time in Miami. So, what do you think this is going to do for the Dolphins season?
I mean, I don't know. I think we'll find out. Here's the bottom line. I mean, Fitzpatrick can be as mad as he wants to. I guess he has a point of being mad about, the way he found out about himself being benched was on Twitter. That's what he's mad about. He's going all over doing interviews talking about how disappointed he is. He said he was heartbroken. I don't think he's mad at Tua about it. I think he's mad at the Dolphins organization. I think he's going to ask for a trade. There's been some other players on the Dolphins team that are expressing their disgust for the change too. Listen, think what you want to about Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's loved among the players he plays with, and listen, he's playing good. But here's the big but, though. Should it have been leaked? No. Somebody screwed up. Somebody's getting fired. As a matter of fact, the GM for the Dolphins, I think it was the GM or maybe it was the owner, I don't remember, said he's going to find out who leaked this information to the media and they will be dealt with. So in other words, somebody's getting fired for leaking the information. But if you're Ryan Fitzpatrick, you're old, right? First of all, he's been in the league, 17 years? He's played with a million different teams. He's played with just about every team in the NFL, it seems like. When they draft Tua with the 5th overall pick,
Correct.
You have to know that as soon as they feel like he's ready, both physically and mentally, to take the team over, that's what they're doing. I mean, I don't know why this is a shock to anybody, especially Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, this could go sideways. Let's say that Tua comes in there and just lays a turd. Because right now, like I said before, the Dolphins are in contention in the AFC. They're certainly in contention in their own division.
I think they're actually third in their division.
Well, they're in contention, though. They're like what? They're like 4-2. So, I mean, it's a long season.
I think they're actually 3-3, but I'm not for sure.
I don't know either. But they're in contention. I know that. Anyway, the point is, you have to know, if you're Ryan Fitzpatrick, that the reason that they left you in for the first 4 or 5 games or whatever it was to mentor Tua, and which he did. And it's time to move on. He's not the future. So if you're the Dolphins organization and if you feel like Tua's ready, if the coaching staff feels like Tua's ready, then I mean, why delay the inevitable? Go ahead and get him experience now. Even if they're not going to do anything this year, at least he has 10 games under his belt, so that they can make a run next year, right? I mean, I don't know why this is surprising to anybody. It's not surprising to me that they made the change. Now, the only thing I will say I'm surprised about is I thought that maybe they might bench Tua for the whole season just based on the hip injury alone. But if he's healthy,
I wouldn't be surprised because I'm. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but if he's healthy, sooner. You mean there's no reason to keep him on the bench?
Yeah, and I'm hearing rumors that Creed Humphrey, Oklahoma's center, may go pro after this year, and I would not be surprised if Miami picks him up with their first pick because, remember, Miami's issue with Fitzpatrick getting sacked all the time isn't his fault because, as Florida State fans probably know, no, you can have the best quarterback in the world, and it don't matter if your offensive line puts up about as much resistance as a piece of paper.
There is one thing about this, the timing of this Tua thing is, of all the games to give him his first start in, as injury-prone as he is, they're playing the Rams.
Yeah, why would you do it against Aaron Donald and the Rams?
Exactly. There you go. Aaron Donald might ruin his debut. I mean, he's the best defensive player. He's definitely the best defensive lineman in the NFL. I don't even think it's close. Maybe Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he could ruin Tua's day, especially coming off that injury. So hopefully he stays healthy. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, on to my second point. I've been talking about this game for the past 2 weeks, Oklahoma State versus Iowa State, and I honestly think this is the best game in the nation this week. Yet somehow the Big Ten's return is the most talked about story in college football right now.
Oh.
That College Game Day doesn't see what Iowa State is doing, and they head up north. And Iowa State seems to get the short end of the stick from everybody. The media, Pigskin Peete, the Big 12. It seems like only me and the Iowa State faithful seem to know what the Cyclones are capable of this year.
Well, I'm going to take your word for it. You have proved me wrong several weeks in a row now, so I'm starting to listen to you closer. All right, I'm starting to respect.
Yeah,
your
remember when
more.
everyone said I sounded like Stephen Hawking last week? Yeah, that's because I'm so smart.
Yeah, well, no, but seriously, I mean, if you're talking about why game day is going to, I mean, it's all about ratings. That's a TV thing. The ratings for, let's face it, dude. I mean, come on. The ratings for Michigan and Minnesota are going to be way higher than Iowa State and Oklahoma State. I don't care what you think about the product on the field. It is what it is.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair point, but
yeah. Of course,
still, I'm just going to let everyone know right now.
I don't make unfair points.
Yeah, I know Oklahoma State's the favorite, but I honestly have Iowa State winning this, and you better not make Oklahoma State your lock of the week. Otherwise, next week, if Iowa State happens to win, oh boy, am I going to have a field day with you.
I'm not. Look, I'm not making Oklahoma State my lock of the week. That's not happening.
All right. And because I don't want to take up too much time, I'll move on to my third point, which is my Oklahoma Sooners facing a road test against the TCU Horned Frogs, who have already pulled off one upset, taking down the Texas Longhorns because Texas fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line. So, and here's some facts for you. TCU has not beaten Oklahoma since all the way back in 2014. Seriously. That was the last time TCU
When's the last
has
time you want to talk about how long it's been since Oklahoma's done something or not done something? How long has it been since they lost 2 games in a row in the regular season? A lot longer than 2014. What was it, 2006?
Yeah. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I know where you're going,
Well,
and I have the answer for you. 1998.
I'll give you directions if you
I
need
know
it.
it's 19. I already know the answers. It's 1998, but to be fair, I feel like part of it's just the fact that Rattler's is a fresh, inexperienced quarterback, and like after he got some, like I think he now has the fire lit under his rear end after he got benched for Mordecai temporarily in the Red River Showdown. So who knows?
Well, I don't know. Oklahoma's so confusing. I will never lay another dollar on them for the rest of the season. But thank you, Coulter. You're amazing and fantastic. I appreciate the call.
Well,
good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Hey.
It's Red Dot. How are you?
Johnny Red Dot. Hold on a second, buddy. I'm going to answer a super chat here. Thank you, Wilkie. He says, Pete, do you have Patreon? Don't want to join. Wrong. I think I might still have a Patreon in my thing. You're welcome to join it. I don't promote the Patreon page because I want to be honest with people. I don't want somebody to read the Patreon and get misled by it. I have some things coming up that where, you know, maybe doing a join or something and some other things as far as people who want to support the show. Yeah, I don't do anything on Patreon, so I don't do any private streams. I'm not giving the stuff away on there. If you want to just do it just to support me, that's great. I'm not going to tell you not to, but other than that, I don't want to mislead anybody to think the Patreon page for me is some sort of a special benefit for a viewer. So it's not. So I probably should just take that off of there. Honestly. Anyway, thank you, Wilkie. What's up, buddy? What's up, Red Dot?
Nothing. Just got back from Miss Red Dot's birthday party. So I jumped on your channel real quick. Let's go talk about the elephant in the room, as we talked last week.
No pun intended again, huh?
Oh, yeah, we're 2 for 2 because we're definitely going to do something like your channel first. That you know, this is not directed to Uncle Lou or Brett or any other of the sane Georgia fans. But last week, I got ridiculed in every chat. Heard about this great defense, how you know we were going to get thumped and that we were chumps, and so like I said, I told you, even if you held a gun to my head, even with Saban, I would have probably took Georgia. And then we find out that Georgia's who they exactly we thought they were offensively, not defensively. That defense is still pretty good, but I'm like you. They spent the whole summer trashing that guy, and then all of a sudden he became Superman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I even said it. He played well those first few games, but when you're going into Tuscaloosa to play a team like Alabama, playing well is a start, but he didn't play well. And I said I was waiting for the shoe to drop with Stetson Bennett. You know, he had a few really good games. He was managing the game well. He wasn't turning the ball over. And then what did he do? Went out and turned the ball over 3 times. Missed a couple of wide open receivers in the second half when the game was still, you know, within reach. I know he eventually got the touchdown on that drive, but he missed 2 wide open guys in the end zone. Like, Stetson Bennett is a walk-on for a reason. And not that walk-ons can't be great. I mean, look at people say, what about Hunter Renfrow was a walk-on? He was a walk-on. Yeah, okay, well, Hunter Renfrow is the exception to the rule. He's not the rule. Most walk-ons are not going to be national championship. And by the way, Hunter Renfrow was a slot receiver. He wasn't a quarterback of a team that has aspirations of winning a national championship. There's a big difference there. So,
and
the shoe dropped.
He came from the great city of Myrtle Beach too, also. So I remember Hunter when he was, you know, that's 25 miles from my hometown. Yeah, it's like I said, the best team right now, no question in my mind, is Clemson. I mean, we understand exactly. I mean, I watch football all the time like you do, all night, all day. And ETN, probably the if not the best player in college football behind Trevor Lawrence. I mean, the best running back for sure. But I knew Najee was going to get at least 75 yards. I didn't think he'd get 150, but for people to say that he wouldn't run 50 yards against that defense, they're delusional. And our defense is getting better. You know that. They grew in that second half. I mean, they shut Georgia out. So,
well,
you know,
so, so
go
Harris is getting like he got like 32 touches in that game, which is a ridiculous amount of carries. Or I don't know if that was how many carries he had or how many times that he touched it, receiving and running. Either way, I mean that's almost 3 times the amount that ETN touches it on any given game. That's a ridiculous amount of touches.
Right. Yeah, he's very similar. They're running the Derrick Henry style. I mean, he's a different running back than Henry, but that's how they were. But I mean, I'm not a delusional Alabama fan. Like I said, it's they've got a long ways to go. And Kiffin had a great game plan against us at Ole Miss. I mean, it was quick tempo. Everybody was confused. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen every week. And
I believe it was Uncle Lou that told me, and he was right. He said, Alabama, their defense is not constructed or built to stop a Lane Kiffin type of offense. They're built for a reason to stop Georgia, because Georgia, let's face it, over the past 3 or 4 years is their nemesis as far as getting to the playoffs, and he's right, and they proved that this weekend.
Yeah, Lou is one of the smartest guys in college football. He's spot on, man. I mean, I love his show, and he's honest, and why they got away from running the ball, I don't know, but. Here's a question I ask you. Do you think Kirby's just bad at evaluating quarterback talent? I mean, because somebody says he's a bad recruiter, and that's wrong. He's a good recruiter. He had Eason. He had Fields.
Who said he was a bad recruiter?
Do you think he's just some dummies?
Well, that's the most potato comment I've ever heard. He's certainly not a bad recruiter. He is bad at evaluating quarterback talent. There's no doubt about that. But here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. So, is he making these decisions about quarterback over the offensive coordinator? Because I can't imagine for the life of me that Monken would be the ones vying for Stetson Bennett over JT Daniels or any of the other guys. Beck, Mathis. So is this a Kirby thing, or is this an offense? I don't know. But the one common denominator, because they've been through several coordinators, is Kirby. So I guess it is Kirby.
That's the only thing I can say is, he was groomed under that Saban run the ball first, and Saban had that same problem. I mean, Alabama was never a prolific quarterback school until A.J. McCarron was no superstar, and
right.
It's Tua was the first guy, and hell, he was reluctant to put him in the game until they were down so far. So, I mean, and Georgia is running back they run the ball. So I don't know, man. I mean, where do you hang the onus on Kirby on quarterbacks? Because to let Justin Fields get the hell out of there is crazy.
You got to blame the head coach.
Right.
The quote from Saban himself was, those couple of years they lost to Ole Miss when Hugh Freeze was the coach there. He said that was an eye-opener for him. He said if you can't beat him, join him. And he did just that. So he changed his philosophy offensively from what he did for many years previous to that. We saw Les Miles. He's a victim of that. There's a reason that he's at Kansas now instead of LSU. That's the reason. And Kirby's going down that road. So can Kirby wake up and realize that this is you have to have a good defense. Yes, defense can get you to championships and possibly win if they're dominant. At the end of the day, things have changed. Just in the past 3, 4, 5 years, got to score points. Look around the league. Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama. What do they all have in common? Elite quarterback play. Putting up 40 and 50 points a game, even against top 10 defenses.
And I think Lou said this last week, if the defense held Alabama to under 24 points, they would probably win the game. He said if they score more than that, he said the offense couldn't catch up. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, there were some questionable calls. The one with Devontae in the corner, that was kind of – but I still, even if those calls go the way they should, I still don't think Alabama loses that game. I just don't think Stetson Bennett he's the guy there. And I'll get off. Last thing I'll say, too, about listening to you and Durkins last night about the Georgia Tech game and Clemson about running the score up. Hey, if you don't want the score to get ran up, then stop it. I mean, I have no problem with you guys drumming somebody. Jimmy Johnson said that. Stop it if you don't.
Well,
you guys are going for style points because of the ACC. And you didn't try to run it up. I mean, you had people in that game. I watched it.
They had players playing at key positions that I didn't even know were on the team.
Anyway, I think the Water Boy scored a touchdown too, didn't he?
Yeah, listen, the whole don't run the score up against this thing is the most pathetic, sad thing to see fans say. Yeah, it's really embarrassing, actually. But, all right, buddy, I appreciate
Well, I'll get off. I just want to say, and shout out to all the guys there that are nice to me in this channel. I mean, I'm glad to be on the Clemson channel with these guys. Like I said, some Carson and Tiger Nation, and you got some great guys in here, and I appreciate it. And it's good the content that you put out. It's really good. So,
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
See you, Pete. Have a good one.
I want to piggyback off of what he just said before I pick up the next call here. I don't consider this necessarily to be a Clemson channel. It never really was. I mean, it's hard for people to see this behind my head on every single video, and the Clemson hats and the shirts or whatever. And I mean, I don't hide my fandom. My super fandom is probably what I really should say about the Clemson Tigers. It's just part of who I am my whole life. People can't really get past that. I understand that, but this is not a Clemson channel. It's a college football channel. But thank you, sir. Good afternoon, you're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete, McD Sports 4. How you doing?
What's up, McD Sports 4? How are you doing?
I'm fired up, man. I was playing for the first time this year against Northwestern this Saturday. I don't even know what time the game is.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That doesn't seem like an exciting game to me. But hey, it is to you. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I want to make a quick one.
Let me ask you something real quick. Is Tua's brother starting the game? Do you know?
To be honest, I don't even know. I haven't even looked at it, really. I've been really busy the past week or so. Just not even involved with anything involving college football. I didn't even really pay attention to any YouTubers or anything because I've been so busy. So,
right.
I mean, so I'll have to look it up, and maybe on Friday I can let you know who's starting. But
I'm gonna have to take.
Or I'll comment on live game.
You've been waiting 11 months, so almost 12 months for a live football game for your Maryland Terps, and you don't even know who the starting quarterback is. I'm disappointed in you, sir.
I don't think it's to his brother though. I think it's Josh Jackson. I'm pretty sure. I would think it's him.
Okay.
But I don't even know if he's eligible or not to his brother, honestly.
Yeah, he is.
But
I think he is.
Oh, he is?
I think he
is.
If
he is, he should be starting. If he is, I think he should be starting, but who knows? I mean, I can let you know later on in the chat, but yeah, I'm fired up with 11-point underdogs on the road against Northwestern. I would take Maryland plus 11, even though I don't bet my own team. But I would take Maryland plus 11. I think we could go in there and beat them. We'll see. But I don't know really what to expect.
Wait, did you just say Maryland was plus 11?
Maryland's plus 11 on the road against Northwestern.
I'll take that. I might actually take that. I'll talk about that tomorrow on the Lunch Money Show with Uncle Lou. We're going to talk about the Big Ten tomorrow. But that sounds like a ridiculous line to me. I don't know where that's coming from. I mean, Maryland's not a world beater, but 11-point underdog to Northwestern based on what?
Well, if you ask a Texas fan, Maryland is a world beater. But yeah, I mean, I would take Maryland plus 11.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I think that's a big. But anyways, I want to talk about this Trevor Lawrence thing real quick to him possibly. Now,
you want to make that bet with me?
I agree.
For anybody who's just come in here, there's an open invitation to bet me $100, 100 big ones, a Benjamin. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Anybody want to bet me? Does anybody want to bet me that if the New York Jets draft Trevor Lawrence, or any other team for that matter, it doesn't have to be, it could be anybody, that he's gonna stay in college for another year to avoid going to a bad team? Does anybody want to take that bet with me? Because I'll take it right now. Go ahead. Let me know.
Well, I'm not going to take that bet because I do agree at the end he'll go to whichever team would draft him. But if I was in his shoes, I would seriously consider if the Jets would be number 1 overall pick to go back to Clemson.
Why?
But I don't think he's going to do it.
Why?
Because the Jets, they're a clown franchise.
Okay,
especially to keep Adam Gase.
So he goes back to Clemson. The next
Mm-hmm.
year, another dumpster fire of a team who's 0-15 or 0-16 or 1-15 gets the first round pick. So what makes that team any worse than the Jets? Somebody explain this to me. Every bad team gets the first pick. This is not new.
That is true. But I'm looking at the bad teams this year. I think the Falcons are going to blow it up, and I think they're going to be probably your worst team for the next 2-3 years. I would love to see Trevor Lawrence go to the Falcons over the Jets. So I think the Falcons are going to have the first overall pick. Not this season because they have a win. The Jets are going 0-16 this year, but next season, I think the Falcons are getting that first overall pick. And I think that's where he should go.
Not to mention that the potential outside of football making money in the New York market is through the roof. I don't care how bad the Jets or the Giants are. You go there in New York, the endorsement deals you get, it's the exposure you get in that market. It's the biggest sports market in the entire country.
The Jets are the number 2 team. So I personally don't want to see him go to the Jets because I think he will have a better career elsewhere besides the Jets or the Lions or the Jaguars. I do not. I would rather see him go to maybe the Falcons, the Vikings. I would love to see him go to the Panthers, but they're winning too many games.
Look, you know what? If the Panthers were going to draft him, he should stay at Clemson. How about that? Talk about a bad organization. Jesus Christ.
I was telling people they're not that bad. The Panthers.
I like Matt Rule. I think he's a good coach. They had every opportunity to tank for Trevor, and they're screwing it up. Why? For what? Can you imagine a team with Christian McCaffrey and Trevor Lawrence on it? I mean, Christian McCaffrey is the version of Travis Etienne in the NFL. But no, they go sign Teddy Bridgewater, give him $20 million a year. Anyway, don't even get me started on the Panthers. There's not enough time, and I don't have enough alcohol left for that.
And I want to talk about the two in the Ryan Fitzpatrick situation real quick. Ryan Fitzpatrick, listen, did they handle it wrong getting leaked on Twitter? Yes, but how can you not be expecting this if you're Ryan Fitzpatrick? I call Ryan Fitzpatrick the best backup quarterback in the league for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's not a starting quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. No, you're 100% right.
Yeah. I don't think he's a starter, but I think he's the best backup in the league. I used to say the same thing about Ryan Tannehill before he went to my Titans and I saw what the real issue was with Adam Gase there. But overall, how can you not see this coming, that he was going to be replaced eventually? I always believe if you take a quarterback in the first round, I believe he should be starting game one. So I personally thought they should have went with Tua starting game one, honestly.
No,
unless he's injured, obviously.
I don't agree with that. He still was a question mark health-wise. And
That's what I said.
Dolphins were
Maybe
very
not.
strategic about this. There's not a better mentor to have than Ryan Fitzpatrick if you're a first-year quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he's been around 100 years. He's played he's been there, done that. I'm sure he helped out too a lot. But at the end of the day, Ryan Fitzpatrick, what is your goal? This is the same thing I say about Georgia. This is the same thing I say about every team, no matter how bad they are. What is your goal? Right? If you're the Dolphins, your goal is to make the playoffs and compete for the Super Bowl. Is that realistic? Maybe not. It should still be your goal. Like my goal, is it realistic to think that Pigskin Pete is going to be a multi-millionaire one day? Talking shit on YouTube? No, not realistic, but it should be still the goal. You're always supposed to set the goal higher than the reality. And reach for the goal, right?
I agree.
That's what they teach you as a small child. That's what I teach my children. Set your goals high and try to achieve them. Even if you don't reach that goal, you'll reach higher than if you didn't. So the Miami Dolphins' goal should be to win a Super Bowl, and they're not doing that with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Not happening.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, they're 3-3. Patriots, I think we're basically the same team as them, or at least on a competitive level. Bills might be a bit better, but I mean, they could still beat out the Bills. I mean, my Titans blew out the Bills. They exposed that team, so I think they could still win their division and get in the playoffs and compete for a Super Bowl at 3-3. And they think too, with the better quarterback right now, they should go with that. If I called up last week, I would have basically made fun of Dan Mullen. So let me hit on that real quick.
Yeah, make it quick.
Dan Mullen insulted my intelligence.
Yeah, make it quick. I got some calls stacking up here. I don't want to cut you off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, Dan Mullen insulted my intelligence. He can never beat his rival. He couldn't beat Alabama, Mississippi State. He can't beat Georgia. He won't beat Georgia this year. I'll take any team against Georgia. I'll take Georgia as a 14-point favorite against any team right now. And I think Dan Mullen is the star of the end for him at the University of Florida. Thanks for taking my call, Pete, and go Terps for being Northwestern.
All right, buddy. Good luck to your Terps this weekend. Thank you for the call. Good afternoon, I'm Pete.
Pete, sir, how are you?
Well, I'm amazing and fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm reveling in the misery of others.
Be more specific. There's a lot of miserable people, especially on YouTube.
Well, for starters, the Florida Gators, as if things weren't bad enough, they've now shut down the entire athletic program and the university because Megan Mullen's giving everybody Rona.
They shut down the university too for the students?
Yep. That's what my Google machine said.
Wow. This is breaking news to Pigskin Pete. Are they on a bye this week anyway, right?
Oh, yeah, I think this was, or no. Weren't they supposed to play LSU this week, I think?
No. That was last week. And they rescheduled that for the end of this, sometime in December, I think.
Yeah. Well, now, from what I heard, they're hoping to be able to play Georgia in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
But that's not set in stone, apparently.
Mm.
I was like, well, sounds like some forfeits for the Gators, which always makes me happy.
Yeah. We'll see more and more of that.
Now,
the big question is, will the Big Ten get through the season? The Big Ten has the most strict protocols, probably out of any of the Power 5 conferences so far, as far as as far as COVID goes. I don't know. I heard today on the radio that they may be changing some of these rules in some of these conferences. I don't know how they stay. I mean, every conference is different, but well, I can't articulate exactly what I heard. Basically, what I heard was they're trying to make a blanket rule. I guess maybe the NCAA is going to try to make a blanket rule, basically saying sort of similar to the NFL. Basically, if you have 3 negative tests within 24 hours of each other before the game, you can coach. Same way that what happened with Nick Saban, but I don't know. The Big Ten they are being super cautious about this thing, and they're trying to say quarantine somebody for 14 days if you test positive, and that doesn't even count if you test negative 5 days later or 3 days later. It's a blanket thing. You test positive, 14-day quarantine, and that could be a huge problem for those teams.
Oh yeah, especially with no bye weeks built in.
Right. Yeah. So
now the other misery I'm reveling in this evening, and this one I'm a little wishy-washy on, because if this had happened at Miami, you would have every talking head on ESPN screaming death penalty, but LSU has decided to sanction themselves, which I think is hilarious.
What about the Odell thing?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. First of all,
and like I said, if it had happened at Miami, every talking head on ESPN would be screaming death penalty.
This is really much to do about nothing. Now, the real story here isn't LSU. I mean, LSU's doing what LSU has to do to save face, right? But the real story here is that Odell Beckham Jr. is a knucklehead. I mean, does he not know? Somewhere in the back of his mind, he's got to know that if you're handing out cash on the sidelines and every camera in the building is on you, and the national championship game nonetheless, you're handing out cash to players. Now, does this mean that Odell Beckham Jr. This is what they said. They said it's a recruiting violation, possible paying recruits. Well, those guys weren't recruits. They were current players on the team. Do I think Odell Beckham Jr. is out there paying for recruits to come to LSU? No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody with a rational mind actually believes that. But he's got to be smart enough to know that if you're one of the biggest stars in the NFL, you're on the sideline of your alma mater during a national championship game, and you're over there with a wad of cash, making it rain like you're at a strip club after you win, that's a bad look. So to me, this is less to do about sanctions on LSU or personal or self-imposed sanctions. This is LSU telling Odell Beckham Jr. to fuck off. They don't want him on the sideline, and this is the best way to keep him off of it by not allowing him there.
Well, I mean, as far as Odell goes, I mean,
he's an idiot.
It's confirmed at this point that you can't fix stupid. Too many people have tried. It just can't be done.
He's an idiot. He's already over there. I mean,
like I said,
he's already over there on the sidelines of the Browns pouting. I mean, this guy's something else. I wouldn't want him on my team. I don't care how good he is.
Well, he's got a terrible quarterback. You would pout there too.
Well, whatever. I mean, he's got a better quarterback than he had in New York.
Well, that he does.
I mean, Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer probably, but Eli Manning the past couple of years in New York was not the Eli Manning of old. I think Baker's better than that.
It wasn't.
The problem is not well, I'm not going to go down that road. People think what they want to about Baker Mayfield.
Well,
no. Odell Beckham Jr.'s problem is not Baker Mayfield. It's Odell Beckham Jr. That's his problem.
Well, I mean, as far as play on the field, that's his problem. That's a big part of his problems.
I disagree.
But going back to Fitzpatrick, man, I really feel for this guy. I do, because he was playing good, and I get your point that he's a journeyman, but look at the last two teams this guy's been on. He gets replaced for Tua, who has come in, completed one pass, two passes. One of them was for a yard.
You feel bad for him because of that?
Well, a little bit, and here's why. Because doesn't do anything wrong there and gets benched, and didn't do anything wrong in Tampa and got benched for old crab legs Jameis.
So
I mean, I was glad to see Jameis on the bench, and Fitzpatrick actually won the game.
He's been in the NFL for 17 years. Fitzpatrick has. So there's a reason that he's played for – how many teams has he played for in 17 years? 12? I don't even know how many. Do you know how many? A lot.
That's probably a conservative estimate.
He holds the record for the quarterback that's played for the most teams in their career. I know that. So there's a reason for that. Is it an accident?
And like I said, I'm not saying my heart's pouring out for the guy. I said I feel a little bad for him. And to be perfectly honest, the only reason he left Tampa is because they benched him for Jameis. He didn't do anything bad in Tampa. He was winning games.
Mm-hmm.
And so far here in Miami, what has he really done wrong? I mean, they're one game out of first place in that division.
Right. It's not about doing anything wrong. It's about when you roll the dice and you go out there and spend your first overall pick and a high pick too, right? The 5th overall pick, I think it was, on a Tua to be the future of your franchise. If he's healthy, if he's able, if he's grasping, and again, we're not there at practice. If he's grasping the playbook, if he seems like the guy that can eventually lead the offense, what's the point in waiting until next season? Like, why delay the inevitable is what I'm trying to say. Again, Fitzpatrick's
well, I mean, haven't we learned from
winning
Cleveland at this point what happens? Haven't we learned from Cleveland at this point what happens when you stick a rookie quarterback in all the time?
Well,
I'd say let him sit on the bench with a clipboard for a year.
Look all over the league, man. Last year, Kyler Murray comes in, offensive rookie of the year. This year, you got Justin Herbert's lighting it up. Who else? Who else am I thinking of? There's another. Joe Burrow's playing great. I mean, the Bengals aren't great as a team, but he's playing really well. Why delay the inevitable is what I'm saying. If you're not going to win the Super Bowl, which Miami's not, let's be real. They're not even in the top 10 best teams probably in all of the NFL. They're not winning a Super Bowl. So why delay it till next year? Why then you have to have a whole nother season of Tua to develop before he's competitive. So why not put him in now? And then so the start of next season, you have a guy who has experience and you can actually compete.
And I get your point behind that, and I'm not totally against it, but I'm also in favor of letting a rookie sit back for a season and watch and learn as much as he can, which isn't a bad thing in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you've got a shot to at the very least do good and win your division, possibly make the playoffs. And then you never know. Weird things happen in the playoffs all the time. Right.
Well, I didn't expect to see Tua this year based on the injury alone, but if he's healthy, put him in there. I mean, you're pay. You don't pay this guy. I bet Tua's making probably more money than Fitzpatrick is. They're paying him more. He's got to,
Well, didn't they? I don't know what Fitzpatrick's making. I remember a few years back they put a cap on what rookies can make.
Yeah, I don't know. Tua signed a whatever it was, a $30 million contract over 4 years, I think it was. So whatever that translate to, a little over $7 million.
Fitzpatrick probably making that.
Yeah, no, Fitzpatrick's probably making more than $7 million a year. I mean, backup money these days is $15 million, so he's probably making more than Tua. But still, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know why anybody would be surprised that they're putting in their first overall, their first pick of the draft for a guy who's been in the league for 17 years and hasn't won anything. I mean, there's a reason they drafted.
Well,
Tua.
I mean, I wasn't a fan of them. Well, I wasn't a fan of them drafting Tua anyway. I think he's too injury prone. I don't think he's going to last.
Maybe not. We'll find out. And if he gets hurt, guess who they have a backup as? Ryan Fitzpatrick, which is what he is, a backup. So
I don't know. I mean, he's like you said, he's talking about getting out of Dodge. He ain't happy.
Okay. Well, he'll go somewhere else and be a backup.
He may just take
he'll
his
go
ball
somewhere else and be a backup, or be a bridge for another. Maybe he'll go to. It'll be the cycle starting all over again. He'll go to New York Jets. Right? They'll pick him up and they'll say, hey, we're about to draft Trevor Lawrence. We need you to mentor him for a year. Trevor Lawrence will sit behind him for 4 games. Then they'll put Trevor Lawrence in as a starter, and then we'll be back to square one, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, before you know it, will be retired.
Well, he's got a shot at a starting quarterback position. Send him to Dallas. They can't be any worse.
Well, yeah.
That also makes me very happy.
Me too.
I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, doesn't everybody?
Yeah, I just love seeing it. I mean, I hate seeing Dak get hurt. I mean, I don't wish injury upon anybody.
Oh, so somebody said Fitzpatrick is making $5.5 million, which is less than Tua. So Tua is making about $7 million. So.
Okay. No, see, I didn't have any clue what he was making.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only NFL I'll watch bunches of college games, but I watched one NFL game, and I got to see Tampa just obliterate Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So I was happy about that too.
I got news for you before I let you go here. I got calls stacking up, and I'm running out of time. But I know that there's a lot of excitement down there in Tampa Bay, and I know you're a Tampa Bay fan. And I know Rob Gronkowski now seems like he's all of a sudden the Rob Gronkowski of old because he caught a couple of passes last week.
No, he's not.
Tampa Bay. They're probably the best team in the South, and I don't really think it's close. The Saints are a dumpster fire. Carolina, we know how they look. They look awful. The Falcons are maybe the worst team outside of the Jets.
Atlanta.
So, yes, the Tampa Bay is going to make the playoffs. They're going to win the South without a problem. Look, they're not winning the Super Bowl. There's a big, huge gap right now, and I think you can agree to this. Seattle, Green Bay. Who else am I thinking of in the NFC? It's really Seattle and Green Bay that really look like the two best teams in the NFC, and the NFC is awful this year as a whole. I mean, the entire East is bad. Most of the South outside of Tampa Bay is bad. Most of the West is bad.
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
So
I don't disagree with that, but Green Bay doesn't have a defense, and Seattle's defense is not what it once was. And if they can make it to the Super Bowl, it'll probably be against Kansas City, more than likely.
Who? Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No. Well, I said in the off season, I said if they make the playoffs, I'm not putting money against Tom Brady in the playoffs.
We might have a bet on hand. We'll see how that works out. Because I will.
We'll see how that one. We'll see how that one works out.
I'll put money against Tom Brady in the playoffs, especially if they're playing Seattle. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Not with Tampa's defense. You will lose that one miserably.
Okay.
That very well may be the best defense in the NFL.
Yes.
But like I said, we'll deal with that when we come to that bridge.
All right, buddy. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Slim Shady Canes. I got several bets with him. We got a Jack Daniels bottle bet that I'm going to win, by the way. I know that North Carolina lost to Florida State and everything, but I have a bet with him that North Carolina is going to beat Miami head to head, and I still feel good about that. We'll find out. Good afternoon, y'all, with Pete.
Hey, it's Bubba Clemson, man.
Bubba Clemson.
Bubba. Yeah. No, I'm glad that you both fired high on the duel, and you're still around, and he's still around.
Say that again?
So.
What?
I said I'm glad you both fired high on the duel, because the other night you were talking about you and Slim were going to have a duel.
Oh, yes. He missed. I came ill-equipped.
So did you, evidently.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I forgot my gun, and being the sportsman that I am, I still had the duel without the gun. But he just flat out missed. I didn't miss. I just didn't bring my gun.
Okay, that works. Okay, well, look, I'm going to play the GM of the New York Jets. Mm-hmm. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trade the number one pick. The reason being, I just spent a number one pick on Sam Darnold 3 years ago, and I haven't put anything around him that is worth a hoot. Not a line, not any kind of skill position. So I'm going to trade the number 1 pick and pick up as many picks in the second and third round as I possibly can. I don't know who I would trade the pick to, but I definitely would not go for Trevor. And the reason being is I'm already invested in Darnold. I mean, why would you? I mean, you're going to do the same thing to Darnold or to Trevor as you did to Darnold?
Well, the real question is there a comparison between I mean, I'm not saying Darnold's bad, but is there a comparison between Trevor Lawrence and Darnold? I think there's a huge comparison.
Well,
and so you can get it. You can get a couple of high round draft picks in a trade for Darnold, and get Lawrence. Look. The golden rule when drafting in the NFL is, especially if you have the first pick, you take the best player in the draft, and the quarterback position, people like it or not. I mean, you could say maybe take a defensive end, or I mean, listen, the Jets have needs everywhere. It's not just quarterback, but you take the best player available,
exactly.
especially if you consider them to be a generational type of player, which every NFL scout, you don't have to take my word for it, because I get accused all the time. Oh, look at this homer. He thinks Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback ever in the history of the draft. No, I'm not saying that, but guess who is saying that? People who get paid a lot of money to evaluate talent. He's got the highest grade of a quarterback coming out of college since Andrew Luck. And before that, John Elway. So,
well, here's the point. Okay. You draft him. You ruin him within 3 years because you can't put anything around him.
But you don't draft him with the intention of ruining him, right?
No, you don't. Okay, but the point is, you will.
Maybe.
Why not go ahead and use your picks to put something around someone who's already there that you've already invested in a first-round pick in your quarterback, and try to build upon that. Now, you can get plenty of picks for the first-round pick in this year's draft, whether it's Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or whoever. But the point is you've already – I mean, you wasted a first-round pick on Darnold. He was picked, what, 5th?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if
draft.
It doesn't even matter if they drafted Darnold last year with the first-round pick. Yeah, a lot of teams waste picks. I mean, that happens every year. I mean, a lot of busts and everything else. The question again is, there's a tier system in the NFL for quarterbacks. Darnold, is he? Yeah, you drafted him high. You drafted him with your first-round pick. It's been 3 years now, and
you've had nobody around him.
So, okay, well, how long are you gonna hold it? Is there a big difference between Darnold and Lawrence? I would say yes. I'm not saying Darnold's bad, but you don't miss out on the best guy, possibly a guy that could be the franchise quarterback for you for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years, or however long it is that he plays, just because you drafted
if he doesn't
Darnold
get
high
destroyed.
3 years ago. Darnold is not great. He's not.
No. I'm not saying he's Hall of Famer. I'm just saying if you draft Trevor now, you're going to destroy him within 3 to 4 years because they have nothing up there around him. And I would put a receiver, a top receiver, and a top running back with Darnold on a trade before I draft another quarterback. I don't know. I guess that's why I run a pizza franchise and not drafting in the NFL.
It appears that the New York Jets know about as much as football as a guy who runs a pizza franchise. So you're not, you know, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
But anyway, now I'll let you get off because I know you're running out of time, and let other people get on. Y'all have a great one.
All right.
I'm sorry I've been absent for the past couple of weeks,
do you want to
but
make that bet with me?
Business is business.
Do you want to make that bet with me?
What
I'm looking
bet?
for somebody to make that bet with me because a lot of people on Twitter clearly think that that I'm out of my mind. So I don't know. Maybe they don't watch the YouTube channel. Maybe they just follow me on Twitter. I don't know. But I haven't seen anybody step up yet that's willing to make the bet with me that if he gets drafted by the Jets or anybody else, that he's going to go there and not stay at Clemson another year. Are you one of they?
No, I think the way that's another thing is this little thing that came out about Trevor. Okay, I hadn't seen him in a couple of months, since March, but we used to go to church together. That does not sound like Trevor at all, the way that was worded. And I really think that if he gets drafted,
are you talking about
he'll go
that
to
meme
whoever
that came out that said that so-called quoted him and said, "I'm not going to that trash ass team" or something like that? No, he didn't. That's no. Come on, he didn't say that.
No,
that's fake.
No, that's not Trevor. That doesn't sound like Trevor.
Wow.
That's not Trevor.
No.
He will go where he's drafted. I don't think he'll pull a Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning kind of thing or anything like that. I think he's going to go whoever wants him, gets him, and he'll go there and he'll do his best.
Right.
And I just pray to God it's not the Jets.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
But anyway, all right, Pigskin. You have a good one, man.
All right, buddy. I appreciate the call.
All right.
You guys have a Bubba Clemson calling in. And this will be the last call I take for the night. So anybody who's watching who's thinking about calling in, don't bother because I'm not picking it up. I'm running out of time, but this guy's been waiting for a while. And I think you all know who he is. He's amazing and fantastic. And his name happens to be
Nate the Great, don't be late, a.k.a. Nate Kingston. How are you doing, sir?
Nate the Great, don't be late, also known as Nate Kingston. You know, you have that backwards. I think it should be Nate Kingston, also known as Nate the Great, don't be late. I mean, your name is Nate Kingston, right? In real life?
Yeah. But
you got it backwards.
my real name is Nathaniel, but I go by Nate.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and all you guys said, well, not all you guys, but some of you guys said about Tua and Fitzpatrick thing. In my perspective about that thing, that let Fitzpatrick take like 2 more years for the snap and stuff, and let the rookie study the veteran for a little bit, and then start Tua. I mean, all I'm saying is like start Fitzpatrick for a little bit and for 2 years, and they might retire or whatever. Just let the rookie just study for a little, for maybe 50 years. That's all I'm saying. Like,
no
you know what I'm saying? Like,
no speaking English.
Well,
you said a lot there. You said a lot there.
Yeah. One more quick thing before you go.
Sure.
I'm excited for this weekend. Michigan and Minnesota. I think Michigan's gonna pull a close upset, like 34-20 against Minnesota.
Well, it wouldn't technically be an upset. Michigan is favored by 3 points as of right now, so it wouldn't be an upset.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
I thought it was Minnesota for a sec.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was.
Oh, did they change it?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait, is on Friday you going on live tomorrow? No, Friday.
You mean yeah? Friday I'll have the call-in show at 10 p.m. and then Saturday night at 7:30 or whatever, 7 or 7:30, I'll be on for the Minnesota and Michigan game.
Okay, because I don't have school tomorrow. Well, no, I don't have school on Friday, so that's a good day for me.
That's great, but hopefully you'll have school at 10 p.m. anyways, which is when I'll be on.
No, I'll be asleep by then.
Right.
Thanks, Pete, for letting me call in. I know I've been waiting for long, but I was patient. So
yes, you're patient.
Call on Friday, okay?
You are a gentleman and a scholar, Nate the Great, and one of my favorite callers, by the way. You know that, right?
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
You were one of my favorite college football YouTubers, by the way.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right, buddy.
All right, Pete. See ya.
All right, man. There's Nate the Great, and he is the true MVP every week. He calls in every week, and he just happens to be a really nice guy. So I have one rule, and one rule only on this channel. You don't have to be nice to anybody, but you have to be nice to Nate. Otherwise, I'm going to have a problem with that. That'll end the call-in portion of the show. Let's see what you guys are talking about here in the chat. Let's see who's in here. The Lee Smith channel. What's up, Mike? 3883 says I wouldn't call it an upset. Minnesota is still building, still rowing. I would agree with that. I think that's going to be a good game. You know what I'm really looking forward to is not so much who's going to win the game, because I could care less, honestly. I don't care who wins, Minnesota, Michigan, doesn't matter to me. I want to see this new quarterback for Michigan, this Joe Milton that everyone's talking about. That'll be what I'm looking for. I see Prince is in here. Jamie Oldman says FLSU. The usual suspects in here. I want to give a big shout out to Johnny Red Dot and Wilkie for supporting the channel through the super chat. I really appreciate that. You guys are amazing and fantastic. You keep the show going. Again, I want to remind everybody. Go check out howardsrock.net. There's a link to the website in the description of this video. Make sure you sign up. It's free. No credit card needed, nothing. Just a name. Doesn't even have to be your real name if you don't want to. I mean, you could be Joe Schmo on howardsrock.net if you want. Become a member. It's free. Takes 2 seconds. Helps your boy out. And if you want, I don't know what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for a new license plate, right? Of your favorite team. Maybe you're looking for a football. Maybe you're looking for a mini helmet, right? Like this one. These Speed mini helmets. Right? For your team. A 20% off coupon just for registering. That's all. All right, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are all amazing and fantastic. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon over on Uncle Lou on LouTube. Where is it? Right here. Uncle Lou on LouTube channel. You guys aren't subscribed to Uncle Lou or Uncle Lou on LouTube. I don't know why you aren't. But if you aren't, go check it out. We do a show every Tuesday and Thursday called Lunch Money, where we talk about and tell you how to lose money. We're experts at telling you how to lose money. We talk about betting lines. We talk about all the games and all that kind of thing. Go check it out tomorrow at noon. And then, of course, Friday night, I'll be back right here on the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel with another amazing and fantastic live call-in show where you can call in and tell me how much I suck. Tell me how great your team is. Tell me how Ryan Fitzpatrick should stop crying about being replaced by the number 5 overall pick in the draft last year. You know, whatever it is. All right, guys. I love y'all. Take it easy. I'll see you soon. Pigskin Pete is checking out.